everybody, all this is Texas Gaming Industries here, and welcome back to another episode of my Let's Play of Transport Fever 2 Free Mode Edition. In the previous episode, we basically set up a couple of new lines and entered the 1970s, as well as getting some new equipment. Well, unlocked, we have yet to use them anyway, but in this episode, we're actually going to take on a bit of a unique project. Now, a lot of my trains have been making good times on many of my routes. But the problem is, however, some of my routes are starting to be a little bit too much in basically waiting for a clear road. Because of this, we're going to basically focus on improving the main line between the towns of Lemonton, Greenwood, and Longhorn. Now, let's basically have a look. So, the main problem for this operation is basically located right near where the high-speed line crosses over the regular main line. As you can see, there's a huge junction here, and a lot of trains basically needing to slow down. This is starting to become a bit of an issue, because since my trains are slowing down to basically wait for a clear road into this line, this is basically starting to become a bit of a burden. So I'm actually going to start off by basically fixing up this track work. Sure, deleting the track work is not the best way to do it right now, but what little choice do I have? I need to get this track cleared up so I can at least be able to get started on rebuilding the line. Now, this also implies for the signal gantry here, I don't think we'll need something this big now. We'll delete that, and also focus on getting rid of the switches, and basically deleting some portions of this track. And then deleting this set here, although we have to get rid of these old signals. Get rid of these, and now we'll get started on laying down the new rails. First of all, no catenary, but we're going to basically do it like this. We're going to have the mainline connection tracks go through here, and then we're going to basically do this. And do that. Now, while this could basically work, thing is, however, we'll basically have a track that's going in one particular direction. To fix this problem, for one, I need to set up a new set of signals. We'll go to track editor, well, not miscellaneous, this, and just go down to the signal gantry on wherever it is. Let's see. We'll make a 4-track signaling gantry, place it on this. Then we'll just set the signals to go one way into the station. While this will help, problem is, now my trains will basically know which tracks to take to get to their destinations. That's when I'll basically start doing this. It's not the best solution, but at least, however, it will make it a lot easier for all my trains to travel to their particular destinations without them getting stuck. I need to turn this train around, of course, since it has no path. And also double slip switch these, so all the trains could basically go into the right platforms. And I think that basically will do it. If I check the routes, yep, all the freight trains will go right through the station, and all passenger express trains will basically use the outer platforms. Sweet. Though, this train needs to get to the... I think I might have to re-establish the connection. I'll delete that station and reconnect it here. There we go. Now, local train 16. I believe that train goes between Longhorn to Whiskey, and I think I know the reason why. If we get to Longhorn, we'll basically be able to figure out why it's not working. Come on, game, please work. I think I may have reached the limit on my mods. If it's the case, then I probably might have to disable some that I'm not using anymore. Like some rolling stock that I'm not using, just to basically keep the game from being a total lag fest. Now, the Train 16 handles the commuter service between the towns of Longhorn and Whiskey, but the problem is it doesn't have a direct connection from those two towns. So, since this track here is reserved primarily for trains traveling on the Whiskey line, I could just simply connect this switch of this line and do the same to this one here. That switch is not in the right place. Let's see. Do that, and there we go. Problem solved. Now, the train from passenger service from Whiskey can now use that station. And the freight trains that have to go through Whiskey won't have to worry about basically getting stuck. Well, not getting stuck, more like it will be a lot easier for them to get around. Now, while we're at it, let's get started on the big task. Reworking the main line between Greenwood and Longhorn. Now, this double track section has been doing alright in the early years, but now that there's a lot more trains on it this time, I think it's time for an upgrade. First of all, though, the signalings on this line need to be replaced and have to be remade. And my oil train is now on this line. Great. But other than that, though, the next step is to basically get rid of any of the track that's blocking the way for the new 4-track extension. This includes the line leading up to the alcohol bottling plant. Just need to do is add this. Well, not add this, delete that. And delete these curves on this track here. And also delete these signals. I'll also have to get rid of the old signals on the main line too. I always feel sentimental every time I have to remove these signals. They've done their job well over these years, but now with so much traffic, I need to basically make my main line a lot better to handle more trains. Alright. Okay, so the freight train just swapped tracks. Very interesting. We'll extend the track out a bit, and then reconnect the main line, connect it to the main line here via this switch. And then just simply retrace the track back. And that'll basically do it. Though, crud, this is not gonna work. Okay, fix that. Now let's finish connecting these two track pieces together, and then adding a new row to replace the one that I had to delete. Perfect. Now the tracks are perfectly in line, and no sudden bumps. though the track connecting to the alcohol factory will need to be reworked, as well as the track from the waterworks. We'll basically take care of that and just reconnect both ends here. Now, water won't have to worry. Pun. Anyway, at least now my trains of water won't have to worry about being delayed behind some fast freight express trains or slow freights. I'll also have to set up some new signals along the main line. Let's see. I'll connect this here because I need to reconnect the state. I need to reconnect these the track to the locomotive roundhouse. And with that out of the way, we can now start adding the signals to the new line. And since this is going to be a 4-track main line, I need to set up a double slip switch on both sides, so all the trains could go in the right direction. Thing is, now, with all the trains in the correct direction, well, not correct direction, they're actually now facing the wrong direction on the trip up. It's fortunate that commuter train actually bypassed that signal gantry. But now, that means all of my passenger trains will now have to go back the way they came before, in order for them to be turned around for the return trip back to their next destination, which is Greenwood. Just need to turn this around, turn this around, turn this around, and turn this around. Next is to basically figure out how to connect this industry back to the main line. Now, the 2 inner tracks here are for freight, while the other tracks out here are used for express passenger. Well, not just passenger, but commuter trains as well. So I'll need to set up a switch up here, so trains carrying alcoholic bottles can won't have to worry about being behind a slow train. Just need to add a couple more signals to this new section. And also, I need to connect this track so any trains that are leaving from the alcohol barrel factory can easily access the main line. Wait. Crud. I didn't set it for the right track. I'll have to... Let me refix that. Let's see. We'll do it right here. And then just have to add some new signals in the area. And as well as for this line, I need to add this so trains can easily enter this line. Alright. Now, problem is, this line is not being used by any other trains. I need to fix that immediately. So any trains that are heading towards Greenhorn on the return trip will have to basically go on these lines instead. Like like that train, this one, this one. Let's see, obviously this one as well. Now manage vehicle, I need to manage its line. Local train number 2. Now, there's one more express train that's using this route. Let me see. Train 25. Yeah, this train is also using this line as well. So Longhorn through this one, and there we go. Now my local passenger trains and express trains will basically use this track for their passenger routes. But this one, however, these two lines are still being used by freight. There are still some freight trains going onto this route, and I don't want that. So let's see. It's gonna basically go through here, and then I have to reconnect it to the fruit juice factory, which is located on the other side of the map, up north, I believe. Oddly, they don't have like a compass in this game, so you don't know which way is north, south, east, or west. Ah, there it is. Whoop! Went too far, went too far. Yeah, I think I might have to uninstall some mods before the next episode, I'm afraid. Okay, now that's in place. Let's see. And now it will use this track for transporting its freight. Good. Now let's see. What other trains will be passing through this area? The raw oil train is not going through that area, so there's no need to basically set a signal on that route. Gold products. Oh yeah, the gold bars. I'm gonna basically do it like this, and then basically do that. Now the freight train can easily go through that way. Train TS3C. Let's see. Greenwood, it will go through this one. Yep, the signals are all set. Now let me see, what else? What other freight train will travel on that line as well? Longhorn Brewery, you're going through this one, and then you're returning on this track. Let me see, what else? Oh yes, this freight train of fruit needs to travel on this, and then travel back on this. Okay? Now, let's see, water. Oh! Well, since the tracks are already set up to go that way, everything should be good. There's still some freight trains traveling on that line. Let me see. What about this train carrying lumber from the mill? And why is this train supposed to pick up lumber? It's not supposed to. Oh, okay. Actually, let's change the signal positions a bit. You go through this, and then you return back to the mill on this track. And yeah, this train's not supposed to pick up any lumber. It's supposed to drop it off only. Any other trains going through this way? Refined oil. Ah, yes, of course. Now let's see. Granite South, you're going through here, and then you're going to go back through Lemonton on this track. Okay? Now, there's still some freight trains going on that route. Just don't know which one it will be. Oh, processed copper bars, for one thing. Greenwood Annex, you're going through the signal, and you're going to go through this signal on the return trip. Okay, let me think what else. What else? What other freight train does it have to go through? Thankfully, none of the electrics, that's for sure. Let's see. Freight train. Oh, right, the aluminum train as well. I need to modify that too. Minerals, bauxite. You're going through this signal, and you're going through this one. Wait, why did I choose the same signal twice? Let's see. There we go. Let's see. What else? What other trains use this route? Because I still have tons of blue. Well, I think I might be able to figure that out eventually once there's more trains going out. Oh, coffee berries. Of course. One of these trains does, this train does have to go through this set of signals. Go through that, and go through this. Let's see, any other train? Not fruit. The bauxite train is going the same way as it normally does. Processed steel. Ah, okay, so this train will probably also need to go through the new signaling system. It will need to go through this signal, and then through this one. That will basically do it. Let me see, what other trains? Ah, yes, the sugarcane train also needs to basically go on the same route. Oh, it's already been set up already. Okay, there's still some freight and freight trains, but other than that, though, we could probably get the rest of this figured out in the next episode. That is, if the game wants to start playing. There we go. I think the game just needs to get back to into it. Hopefully, this will be a thing that will be fixed in the next episode. But other than that, though, I think we reached a good ending point for today's episode. So, if you enjoyed this episode of my Let's Play Transport Fever 2, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. That's Texas Gaming Industries for new video uploads every Friday or Saturday, depending on my outside schedule. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye!